Thanks for tuning into the trade setup. I'm Niraj Shah, and it's a day which will be earnings reactive. A flurry of earnings that have come out post market hours, all of which will react, and that's what I'm going to focus on today. It's not as much about the benchmark indices, but I'll just quickly take you through what happened though. The U.S. markets and what the kind of run that they had yesterday, and the kind of impact that they're having on Asia, which is precious little, I must add. So this is what the U.S. markets did in the session, and again, you would have to say that they kind of came off a little bit from the kind of highs that they were trading at, but fairly flattish in terms of trades. And I think that's what Asia is coming up to as well. So no big shakes as far as the indices go. When you look at the Asian indices as well, the ones that were the early risers, early starters, way early in the morning were flattish in nature. ASX, for example, was very, very flat. And I think the ones that are trading right now as well, HSI, KOSPI, etc., do not have some major gyrations to themselves. It's a placid kind of morning. Look at that, 0.18%. I mean, don't get fooled by this sharp upticks, but it's a very narrow band, and therefore 0.17, 0.18%. For HSI, KOSPI flattish too, and the SGX Nifty, which I checked about a minute and a half ago, had a very flat line. So it's 0.1% higher, if I'm not wrong, or thereabouts. So hardly any movement there for the benchmark indices. So therefore, today might well be the day which is not dependent on the benchmark indices, but for individual trades. And I think the world markets today during the course of the day might actually see this because of this crucial US-China weekend meeting. The global markets today might be a bit tempered because you don't want to be caught on the wrong side of the trade on Monday morning. So keep that at the back of your mind. I think from an Indian perspective, the auto index may continue its good run today. Remember, viewers, yesterday we were talking about how the auto ancillaries and mid-cap auto will do well, and that turned out to be that way. I just get a sense that large cap auto might be having a bit of a trending day today as well. So therefore, do watch out for the auto index and auto stocks in particular. I think a few people were tweeting about how inflation staying above the MPC target will have a big impact on BFSI sentiment today. I doubt. I mean, frankly, in that MPC meet, it was clearly laid out that inflation might have a heady run in the near term, but the 1 year down target for inflation was looking a bit lower. And I really doubt that. I mean, BFSI will have a major impact. Sure, it could correct about 0.5%, percent and a half, but that's not a major impact really. So do watch out for that. If indeed that happens, it could be normal course of selling and not really based on what the inflation numbers come out. So just keep that at the back of your mind. But stocks, as I said, it's all about stocks today. And by the way, you watch out for pharma. It's having a few days of a correction, just like we spoke about 3 days ago, that there could be a bit of a corrective move. But that did not mean that the days of pharma are over. If anything, it's a healthy correction which allows people to buy in again. So keep that at the back of your mind. But stocks that you should monitor, and to my mind, the stock of the day is Tata Steel. I just think that the numbers left a bit to be desired, and quite a bit to be desired, really. So just look at what Tata Steel has posted compared to estimates, and then I'll also tell you the extent of the fall that has happened, right? So revenues were at 24,288 crores. The estimates were about 23,542 crores for Tata Steel. So that's the one number that stood out. But the net loss number for Tata Steel was at 4,373 crores. Estimated net loss was about 2,276 crores. Estimated EBITDA, the actual EBITDA at 505 crores. The estimated EBITDA was 1,289 crores. Margins were at 2.1% versus 14.9% reported numbers. So the numbers were lower than estimates and way lower than what it did in the corresponding quarter last year. Now, of course, realizations came off. Compressions of European spreads hurt the company as well. Adjusted EBITDA was the lowest for the company in the last 18 quarters. So everything will tell you that the stock should correct. The only caveat that I would lay out here is, and the reason why I think that the stock would actually have a bit of a corrective move is because it's just lower than estimates also. The caveat that I will lay out here is that I think Citi or one of the other brokerages recently went ahead and upgraded the stock to a high because they thought that all the pain is in the price. And according to them, quarter one is a story gone by. Quarter two and quarter three might actually have a lot of catalysts. Something that was reported on BloombergQuint by my colleague Nikki as well a few days ago. I urge you to read that story. So be mindful of that. The numbers make you believe that the stock will have a big crack, and it could well have it. But brokerages are upgrading the steel counter. So watch out for that. To my mind, this is the stock of the day. Then the reason why I think that autos will have a good run is because of the numbers that are getting reported and the commentary, more importantly. So Hero MotoCorp, right? Revenues at 2,970 odd crores, better than estimates. Net profit lower than estimates, 61 crores versus 82. EBITDA 108 crores versus estimated 94 crores. Margins were expected to be an abysmal 3.4%. They came in at about 3.63%. But the commentary from Hero MotoCorp, very strong. They're saying that sales in the month of July were more than 95% of the pre-COVID sales, and which is actually pretty good. They also mentioned that green shoots that have come in will sustain and get stronger towards the festive season. That's a really important line, viewers, that green shoots have started to appear and they actually believe it will get stronger, which tells you a thing or two about what the management believes the sales in the months ahead could be like. So be mindful of that. Hero MotoCorp could actually, despite the numbers, have a good day today. Similarly for Eicher Motors, right? Revenues 818 crores, actually better than what was estimated. The net loss very high. I mean, much higher than what the estimates were. But on that base, 55 crores doesn't seem to be too much because it could get recovered. EBITDA was at 3.8 crores versus estimated about 2.4 crores for Eicher Motors. Again, out here, the commentary from Vinod Dasari is the really important thing. I mean, uh, as Hero MotoCorp has said that their time ahead would be good, this is what Eicher Motors is saying. They are saying that they're getting good demand from the tier two and the tier three cities, and supply has become a huge challenge with over 40,000 pending bookings. This is serious, right? There are 40,000 pending bookings, and the management is not able to supply that. So demand actually is not looking like a problem. And much as people have said that this is pent up demand or otherwise, I mean, I question that. What is pent up demand? I mean, if you had money, you will buy it. If you didn't have money, you will not buy it. Sure, the month of June would have seen pent up demand, but if the managements believe that the times ahead would see good demand, that will not be pent up demand really. So be mindful of that. Motilal Oswal has upgraded Aisha. They've upgraded the EPS estimates. They're saying that the FY21 and FY22 EPS estimates, they are upgrading both by 6%, as they're upgrading the volumes for both Royal Enfield as well as Volvo Eicher commercial vehicle segment. So watch out, Eicher. Have a good day too. Krishna Industries, they have came out with numbers. Now, you are the numbers we're getting slightly short on time, but they are saying that they're confident of the FY21 volumes being at the similar levels of FY20. So here's an auto ancillary company which is saying that their volumes will not get impacted at all in COVID times. Of course, they have this big European export opportunity too. But nevertheless, this is a good statement from BKT. Let's see how this one reacts. Indigo and the air passenger traffic growth rose 6% in July over June numbers, mind you. So this is month on month, and therefore 6% rise otherwise may look okay, but doesn't mean anything because June had similar numbers any which ways, but it has happened. The key is Interglobe Aviation's market share is at an all-time high of 60%. The only thing that you've got to keep in mind is that ahead of this data coming out, it's gained about 24% because Westbridge bought shares and therefore it's had a 24% rally in the last 2 days. Keep that in the back of your mind. Last but not the least, a very weak quarter for companies like Trent, 3M India, Prestige Estates. Let's see how these react. But watch out for Tata Steel. Slightly confused, really, because brokers are upgrading the stock, but net, just on the basis of what's been reported, it could correct a bit. But autos could actually have a field day today. So do watch out for all of those. And watch out any corrections in pharma. Most smart people are buying in. Thanks so much for tuning in to the Trade Setup today.